Greetings and good health. I am Dr. Jerica Sarko, a pediatric and family wellness chiropractor. This is your lifeline to vitality, where we discuss ways to cultivate family wellness. Good day and great health. Welcome back to another edition of your Lifeline to Vitality. Today on the podcast, motor tics and the upper cervical spine. In the upper cervical spine, there are four main structures to focus on. They are the foramen magnum of the occipital bone, the atlas vertebra or the first cervical bone, the axis vertebra or the second cervical bone, and the brainstem of the nerve system. The brainstem exits from the foramen magnum. The atlas and the axis bones protect and surround the brainstem. The brainstem connects all the nerves from the brain to the nerves of the body. Regarding motor tics, the secondary focus is on two nerve structures, the reticular formation and the basal ganglia. The reticular formation is found within the brainstem. The reticular formation makes up a big part of the switchboard operator function of the brainstem. The brainstem collects all the stored information and energy from the brain above and passes it off to the body below. It also receives all the stimulation from the body below and transfers it up to the brain above for interpretation. The reticular formation helps the brainstem coordinate and synchronize information, assist in consciousness, cognition, and communication. The basal ganglia is found at the base of the cerebrum, right above the upper portion of the brainstem. It is primarily associated with motor control and motor learning, but is also involved in emotion, the formation of habits, and reward reinforcement learning. Its relationship with motor control is mostly to inhibit unwanted motor actions and to help with the fluidity of movement. In general, it assists in the suppression of involuntary motor movements. The basal ganglia is similar to the reticular formation in that it is also involved in a lot of switchboard operations connecting information from higher brain areas to lower brain areas, with one of those operations connecting information from the cerebrum to the brainstem. The nerve system in general has four main functions. It controls all the movements we make, senses everything we feel, regulates all body organs, and relates us to the outside world. When nerves get stressed, it affects their sensitivity, perception, and behavior to perform these functions. There are three types of stresses we deal with in life. The stresses are physical, chemical, and emotional in nature. These stresses create nerve tension and spine imbalance. One specific job of the brainstem is to adapt to these stresses and help bring the body and the spine back into balance. If the stresses are too great for the brainstem to adapt, compensations arise. One particular compensation that occurs is in the upper cervical spine and is called a vertebral subluxation. A vertebral subluxation will cause the atlas and axis bones to get locked in a misaligned position. This lock will perpetuate spine imbalance and nerve system tension. This tension will lead to abnormal sensitivity, perception, and behavior of the brainstem and surrounding nerves. Nerve system function is now disrupted. Over time, this disruption can lead to symptoms of the involved nerves. The usual symptoms of simple motor tics are quick eye blinks or eye jerks, tongue movements including sticking out the tongue, head twitches or head jerks, squatting and hopping, and shoulder shrugs. The usual symptoms of complex tics are facial grimacing, touching people or things, and/or obscene gestures or gyrating movements. If we reference the reticular formation and the basal ganglia, we can see that it is associated with motor tic symptoms. Now, the goal of chiropractic is not to medically treat the symptoms of the motor tics. The aim of chiropractic is to correct nerve tension and spine imbalance. Chiropractors correct this by adjusting the vertebral subluxation of the upper cervical spine. Correcting the subluxation better optimizes the function of the brainstem and associated nerves. The nerve system overall can sense, perceive, and behave at a greater potential when a subluxation is corrected. Thank you for listening. For even more information on how chiropractic can benefit you and your family, please check out my website, ohiospecific.com. That's ohiospecific.com. Until next time, remember to keep your head cool, feet warm, and your mind busy.